Hello, I'm so glad you joined me for this online French lesson. So, I'm gonna just start by writing the date in French. C'est le. Le is the. Le 24 mars 2020 2020 or 2020. Okay, so that's that. In today's French lesson we're going to be learning numbers. So to start learning numbers, obviously I'm going to teach you how to say numbers, that word numbers. So numbers. In French you always start with le or la if the word is feminine. Now, if you're doing a plural, so for example, numbers, there's an S on the end. See, right? If I write numbers, the way we recognise the plural is the S. And in French, I'll write your translations in green. Numbers in French, to show the plural, you would write les nombres. So that is pronounced les nombres. And just like you have in English, you have an S on the end. However, it is not pronounced. You do not pronounce the S at the end. It's a silent S. And it's the same with this S here. You don't pronounce the S, but you can see that this here is shown the same. So in other words, numbers, the S here shows the plural, and in the French version the plural is shown at the beginning with the introduction of the word and at the end of the word. Okay, so then you might ask me, well, how do you write the number? you would write the number as le. See, we don't put an S on the end. Le nombre. So nombre is still pronounced the exact same as if it had an S on the end. However, le and le are pronounced differently. Okay, it's a bit confusing, but we're not here to learn about that in particular today. Today we're going to be learning numbers, so I'm going to turn my board this way for this. Let me just zoom you in a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to be writing just the normal numbers on the board in So I'm just going to be writing 1 to 10. Okay, so here are your numbers 1 to 10. They are written the same in English as they are in French when you're writing the symbols. But they are pronounced differently, of course, as they are in most different languages. So we're going to be going through and circling which numbers we think sound similar to the English word, okay? And this is just going to help you to focus on the numbers, which might be a bit different, and you might need a bit more reminding of those ones. So I'm just going to go through with you the numbers in French. So this one is un. Un spelt U-N. Un. It's quite simple. It kind of doesn't really sound like one. It's kind of a lazy one. One. Some might say it sounds similar. I don't think it does. 2. 2 is deux. Deux. That you can pronounce just the D-E, and it would sound the same if you wrote that in French. If you wrote D-E in French, you would get the same pronunciation as if you had the UX on the end. It's interesting. It's just a way of writing it. It's like see with your eyes and see like the ocean. So 3. 3 is trois. Okay, so that one doesn't sound similar either, but that starts with the same letter as 3, except 3 is a TH, whereas trois is just a T. And trois, the R sounds, it's like a rolled R, but a lazy rolled R. So that tends to be what a lot of ours sound like in French, a lazy roll. That's what I like to call it, because you're not in particular making like a purring sound like drrr, like that, but it literally lasts for like a second, so that's why I call it a lazy roll of the R. But you could say it sounds kind of similar because it has a T at the start, I guess. So then you've got 4, which is quatre. So this one is spelt Q U A T R E, quatre, which sounds nothing like 4. A lot of the way English people like to pronounce it is quatre, and I guess if you pronounce it like that and speed it up slightly, quatre, speed the end up a little bit, you sort of get the right way to pronounce it, kind of. So then you've got 5, which is cinq. I believe it's with a Q. So that one's sounds nothing like 5. In fact, it doesn't even have the same letter or sound beginning. 6. So 6 is six. It is spelt the exact same, and it is very similar. So this one is not one you have to worry about at all. Six is very similar to 6. And it has the exact same spelling, so we can underline that whole word there so you can remember. The next one, 7. In French, it is written sept. Sorry, my handwriting's going a bit funny now because we're getting to the end of the board. I might just move over. There we go, that's a bit better. So, sept. Sept is pronounced like you would pronounce a set of cutlery, a set of, I don't know, S-E-T, whatever set you want to describe that as. So you don't pronounce the P, it is a silent P. But yeah, that's how you spell it. It begins with the same letter. Well, the first 2 letters are the same, in fact. So this one is pretty similar as well. Obviously 7 is 2 syllables, sept is 1. It's a lot shorter than 7. Some might think a lot easier to remember. So yeah, next we have, oh my goodness, how do I do this? Right, next we have 8. That is how you spell 8. And obviously 8 and 8 are quite different, however it is the same amount of syllables and it ends in a T, so we're gonna just underline that just because we have some point of reference on that one. Okay, 9. 9 is neuf, so you spell that N-E-U-F, neuf. So we've got the same beginning, N. So it is quite similar. 9 is one syllable, neuf is one syllable. So some might say it's similar. You just have to remember that it ends in an F rather than an N, and you're pretty much halfway there. Okay, and then 10. 10 is pronounced dix. Dix. So you might realize dix is very similar in spelling to six, and they are almost pronounced the same as well. Dix, six. But obviously nothing like 10. 10 and 10. I'm just going to go through these with you one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? All good. I can let you take a screenshot if you want. It's up to you, I don't know if you're wanting to do that. But yeah, so we figured the only very similar number is 6. But there are quite a few similarities in other areas, in different parts of the words and all of that, etc. So, next I'm going to be showing you how the rest of the numbers work, because once you learn those 10 numbers you can so easily apply them to the following. We now know that 10 is 10. How would you say 18? 10, 8, 18, 10, 8. It's as simple as that. It's not 18, it's 10, 8, 18. And that's how you pronounce it, 18. Okay? Kind of getting it? Okay, what about 17? How do you think you would pronounce 17? 17, 17. Okay. And 19? 19, 19. It's as simple as that. However, it isn't for the previous numbers, unfortunately. So, the next number after 10 is obviously 11. We all know that. Great. 11 is pronounced 11. 11. Okay, it's nothing like 11. We can all agree on that. 12 is kind of similar to the number 2. However, 12 is pronounced 12. So if you look back at 2, 2 is pronounced de, and 12 is pronounced douze. Okay? So we'll just do that just so we can remind ourselves of what these two things mean. And then we've got 13. Let me move this up a bit. We don't need to learn those because we figured they are exactly the same. So this one, 3, and we can remember 3 is written like that, and it's pronounced trois. And 13 is treize. Okay, we're almost there. Then we have 14, and if we can remember, 4 is quatre. So 14 will be quatorze, which is spelt. This one is quatorze. So we can see a similarity in the end there. Literally just adding an O and a Z between the R to make quatorze. Quatre, quatorze. Okay? This is why learning 0 to 10 is very important. Okay, next we have 15. And we can remember that 5 was cinq. So 15 is going to be impossible to figure this one out. Quinze. Nobody would have guessed that one right. So Q U I N Z E. So basically you're taking the Q and putting it at the start to make the start of 15. Quinze. Kind of sounds similar. Cinq, quinze. It kind of sounds like you're reversing the word in a way. But yeah. Let's make some space for 16. So, six. We can all remember that one because six is literally the same as in English. Yes. Okay, cool. Six. So 16. Anyone have any guess from the ending of these? What can we see that kind of is similar? You probably didn't guess this one. It is seize. S-E-I-Z-E. So now we're going to have a little look at what we can see. all of these have a ZE on the end. Okay? Literally all of them up to 16. And don't ask me why it's up to 16 and then it goes onto the easy version of the numbers. That is just the way it is. Okay? I guess it's sort of the same as like teen years and etc. So there you go, if you want a little screenshot of that. Don't know how many people are going to want to actually attempt to learn this. I am not a teacher, so I'm going to rewrite 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Awesome. So, next we have the 20s. And after the 20s we're going to stop. Okay, so 20 is pronounced 20. It's confusing. 20. So it's pronounced the exact same way you pronounce vin as in wine. Vin also means wine in French. So if you want to have a little reminder, that is wine, V-I-N, and then you add the GT to make 20. Fun fact. And then it's so easy because you don't have all the teens. For example, let's just do 23. No, let's do 26 because 6 is the same in English. So 20, 26. And you pronounce the T. 26. And you pronounce the T every time you add a number. So you don't pronounce the 20 when it's just 20, but you pronounce the 20 20 et 21, 20 and 1, and then it's 20, 22, 20, obviously because there's two T's in this one, 23. You don't 23. You do pronounce both T's, so you it's kind of a so on from there, but you pronounce the T's other than the 20. Okay, and you just add on the end. This is an anomaly because you add an and. I don't know why. It's how it is. But it literally carries on like that. 27. And you can go on and so on. But yeah, so let's count together. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And there you have it. There's your numbers up to 29. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want me to teach you something else, then let me know. And I will try and do that for you. Okay? Bye.